Hello, everyone, and welcome to Failure Diaries podcast, the show where we talk about the success and the failures behind each story. On today's episode with me is our brilliant host, Ayo Bankole, who is the founder of Caladium, is a strategist, and a in fact, he's a bold one, I usually say on this podcast, the one who goes and asks those questions that we're usually shy to ask. Hello, Ayo.
Hi, Precious. It's good to be here again. Hello, our guest and our audience. We're happy to be back for another episode. As I always say, that the Failure Diaries podcast is an outlier of a podcast where we come and discuss the other side of success. We discuss the late nights, the candle burning, the challenges, the growing ups, all of those things that happens that you don't see on Instagram or TikTok and behind all of the fancy lifestyles. Today we have an exceptional human being. I say that I tell most of my friends that in fact, I tell everybody that, especially his partner, that if you have a problem with Obinna, I'm going to judge you.
And you're the problem.
You are the problem. And this is not even a joke. Everybody knows. Obinna is an amazing human being. Thank you for joining us, Obinna. Obinna was my manager. He's my friend. He's, my boss. Great, amazing, fantastic person. But I'm going to leave him to introduce himself. Obinna, so tell us, how did this journey start? From childhood, what were the challenges that you had? And, what is the story that has made you who you are today?
Okay.
I mean, you may want to start by even also telling us what you do, but the idea is that telling us that build up transcends into what you do.
Thank you very much, Ayo. Thank you for Precious.
Thank you,
everyone.
Obinna.
Thank you. Finally, I made it to the podcast.
Thank you for coming.
I'm looking forward to this. So I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you so much.
To the question, background, how I came here, my feelings, and everything. How did I start from? Okay. Young man, Igbo boy, for a large family actually. My parents had 8 of us. The fifth child out of 8. People find out how to live most times. But yes, we have a very large family. When I say large, not just the direct siblings. Well, we have people where most times when we're in the house, we have about 15 to 20 people in the house.
So was it a polygamous family or just
No.
nuclear?
Cousins,
right.
neighbors, and everything. So people came around.
Community.
There's always people in the house.
Yeah.
You used to have people around.
Around.
And I remember first time when I was trying to get married, I was trying to talking about having kids. And the partner would say, "Oh, let's have 1 or 2 kids." I'm like, "What do you mean 1 or 2 kids?"
That's not what I'm used to.
That's
What do
the
you mean by 1 or 2 kids? I'm looking about 8 kids. I'm like, "What? 8 kids?" I'm like, yeah. I grew up having 7 siblings and cousins who I thought were my own siblings, by the way. So yeah, that's how I grew up. Was from, and in all these things, I think the whole point was the different perspectives we see about life. So there's the perspective you get from your parents and your siblings, and the perspective from those who are around you, people who have become part of your family by omission or commission. That's the right word. So that's it. Decided from there, growing, and learned a lot of things from my father. My father was a businessman, not educated like I am, but was a very, very astute businessman, successful businessman for that matter. My mom also the same thing. So I learned a lot from them growing up. I think in all that, it shaped me to become who I am today, in large parts. I think growing up, went to university, had my degrees, passed where I passed, failed where I failed. I think in all that, I basically ended up where I am now, being the MD of OML University. My first degree in the university was actually estate management. But,
Yeah, I remember.
But for a long time, 15, 16, 17 years of my career, I was more into consulting. And the reason I think I found myself there, not because I wanted to be there. So my first job after I left university was one real estate firm in Ikeja then. No, not sorry, in Sura, where I was being paid 10,000 naira.
So what year was that?
2003, thereabouts. I don't want to call the company name, but then Sura Shopping Complex, I was earning 10,000 naira. And of course, I didn't want to take the job. My mom said, just leave the house. You're a young man, finish university. My fellow, they would laugh at me. My son went to university, spent 5 years in university, well, 6 years, we had 7 years, we had strike and everything.
Wow.
And you're back home and now you're sitting at home. So just leave the house. So I started going, 10,000 naira. Well, by the way, they still owe me 2 months salary to today because
They
I had
owed you
to
on the
leave.
10K.
They were saying, well, yeah, they still owe me to
Man.
today, 10,000 naira. So I went there, started off, but then things were really tough. So I was trying to make money, so found my, so let me go to the bank. But then the banks were the one thing. Then the bank was paying 70,000 naira in 2003, 2004.
While you're earning 10,000.
Imagine. So then I moved to the bank, then I was there for a while, then I went to the consulting, I went to Accenture. And the reason joining Accenture was a very interesting story because then I was in a bank, I was the big boy because I used to live in Mafoluku then. And a lot of people looked up to me because, you know, when you go out to hang out with boys and they bring the bill, then bill was like, what, 1,000 naira, and you just put your hand in your pockets and everything. So I felt like I was doing well.
So I would say your success started early for you.
I wouldn't, to a large extent. So
Yeah.
success is relative. So people
I mean, for a big boy, dishing out 1K.
exactly. So for me, I was a big boy
Yes.
who was earning 70,000 naira by the way.
Yes.
But that's what it was. To
It
some
was-
people who were not even working, 7,000 was a lot of money.
Yes.
So success is also how people see success as different thing. The way now I don't see success as having money.
Okay.
But there's a point in time in my life where I thought success was if you don't have 6-7 figures in your bank account, then you don't have,
You're not
not
successful.
But there's so many things that speak to success now. The kids, the family, the peace of mind, health.
Health. True.
So things like that. So just varies. So people use those words, failures and success. But again, in the right context, it means different things to different people.
Most people, I agree.
So yes, to your question, yes, then I was successful because I was being able to pay. Yeah, I was successful then.
Yeah.
So yeah, continue that way. I was one of those days I was hanging out. I met some guys. They were talking about GDP, talking about economy, and then I was just some young banker. All you did was just make money. I couldn't. I found out I was not being. I couldn't join the conversation.
Okay.
I couldn't join. I didn't know what to
The
talk
knowledge
about.
gap was wide.
I didn't know what to talk about.
So you felt left out.
Yeah, so I spoke to them. Oh, I said I work in KPMG, or I work in PwC. And I started research. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to consulting. I need to be better than what I am. So I applied to all of them, obviously. I only got Accenture. And I resumed Accenture. Lovely place. And I took a pay cut, by the way. So that's what, to your question earlier about success. I had to take a pay cut because I wanted to learn. I wanted to become better. It wasn't about money anymore. It's about knowing
Knowledge.
something. It's about values, about when people
Exactly.
see you, who did they see and what kind of, and that was actually what I was focused on. And then I got into Accenture. Again, completely different environment from work. You had people, so I didn't have any core skill per se, strategy, process. I didn't know any of those things. I just went in there, learned everything from the beginning. And one of the mistakes I had, one of the core mistakes I had was, consultants, they say we have templates and
Systems, frameworks, yeah.
The first mistake I did in my career at Accent was using one framework for one client and assuming that it will work for another client.
Exactly.
Okay.
Take, for example, if there was a bank then that we had done the job for, maybe do like a transformation job for the bank A, if you try to take that same solution to another bank, that bank will fail. Because there are so many things at the back. At this time of my career, I didn't know about those things. I didn't know about culture, how much culture having impact.
Leadership,
I didn't know how much.
all those things.
There are even things beyond culture. Sometimes even the MD of the bank or the owners of the business may have something at the back of their mind.
Exactly.
So in your mind, you're thinking, oh, these guys love this company, they want to transform. But he's just trying to raise more money from somebody.
Exactly.
He doesn't care if your process works. He doesn't care.
Doesn't
To
care.
him, if you do this process work and you submit it and I take you to this place, I'll get money.
Or he's just trying to look good to the people that is transforming.
That is transforming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we consultants, oh yeah, if you do this, the process time will go from 10 minutes to 5 seconds. Your customers will be happy, but that's not what the guy is interested in. And I remember one client, and unfortunately, I can't name a lot of I can't give you examples because of the client's confidentiality. But it's a particular client.
You are still the OG consulting, not these new age consulting guys. I saw one guy recently on Twitter who wrote the entire profile of his client and how he designed. I had to call the guy out. This is unacceptable.
Because those things are actually written in print. You're not supposed to.
And don't they have agreements they follow or something?
They do, but people don't.
Clouds these days. I mean, people don't know the difference.
Anyway, so this particular client was asked us, and it was very interesting because we're known for working for big clients. This guy was the one-man business somewhere no, I won't call the location because people that know me might know the place. But somewhere in Lagos, outskirts of Lagos, big factory, doing big business. We went there and I was surprised. It paid us thousands of dollars to come and do the job. And we were there, 6, 7 of us or thereabout. Did this work. But at the end of the day, of course, we did submitted process work, strategy, finance transformation, and a couple of other things that we did for this guy. At the end of the day, he wasn't really interested in what you guys were doing. He just needed to just get funding from somewhere. And those were the things he needed to do to tick the boxes.
Tick the boxes, yes.
So to us, we're like, oh, we're working and interviewing all the staff. Oh, how do you do this?
So while you were working for Value, he was
Yeah,
like,
he had a different.
He had a different agenda.
Another story, it was a very interesting story also. One other bank I was doing something for. Very interesting because this is something that every time I tell the story, people laugh. But the truth is, this was actually real life. We were trying to do a process improvement work for a bank in Nigeria, one of those old banks. And this process, and if I tell you, this don't laugh. So they had a process where if you were a particular level, you don't sit on the ground floor, you move to the top. You know how it is in the banks, when you go to the banks now, you see
the cashier.
then there's a manager, somebody who approves some of those things.
Yes.
Behind.
But because that person is a senior level person, the person is not supposed to be on the ground floor, it's supposed to be on the top floor. So what this bank now did was, you write your teller, I want to collect money, you sign, the person stamps, does everything. But because the person is upstairs and they don't want to be climbing upstairs and down, they have this, there's like a void there. They have this empty tin of, I don't know if it's milk or Bonvita or whatever, that they tied from up. So what you do is you fill the form, you are putting the tin, and you now hit the wall. Like you hit it like twice. Then the person knows that you put something there. When somebody draws it up,
you are kidding.
I'm not. And they do that.
In a bank.
And when we're saying, no, this person needs to come down, as it close to the people that signed the thing. They were not just the person, even some people in the bank were fighting.
Wow.
They were fighting it. They're like, why is the senior person?
Like the tin is okay.
This
milk,
person,
this.
No, the idea is, yes, the thing is not okay, like they agreed, but this person is not coming down, so find another way. Yeah. So many things happen. And the reason why I'm saying all these things is there are some things that we take. There's this phrase, one size, not really a popular phrase, one size fits all. When you buy face cap, you can adjust it. I learned very early in consulting that one size doesn't really fit all.
It never does.
One size. There are hardly any solution today that you can apply to every company. At case you can talk about some places. Okay, let's make this business more technology based, but there are things that will make it work. In some countries, it might be the culture. Some people might just be, that they really want to really change. So there's so many things that can make
this
it.
This is exactly what we say every day. Yeah.
So for how long were you a consultant? And what is it about? Like, if you look back now, what do you think? What was your biggest failure? What was that thing you experienced as a consultant that, you almost stopped doing that job?
Okay, so I won't call it failure, but I think one thing that I didn't really maximize was, okay, so here I was, where people are paying me top dollars to advise them on how to run their business, but I wasn't running my own business.
Wow. So
I can tell you the solution of how to make a business better, but I didn't have any business of my own. So on what basis are you telling me that this is the best way to run? So I knew the solution, quote and unquote, but if I knew it, how come are you not? Why are you
as your own thriving business?
So I think I spent so much time trying to understand solutions to problems than trying to apply it to my own use. And again, now thinking about it now, I think I should have done better in that place. But I also understand at the same time that we all can't be business owners.
Yeah,
a lot of people make
have
that
different
mistake.
profiles.
And I remember those early years when I started working, all I wanted to do was just make money on the side. Everybody had side hustles.
Yes.
Everybody has a side hustle.
Did you have?
Yeah, I had several.
Yes.
Yes, I got burnt a few times. I was really, 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 I thought I was going to become a farmer eventually. Between 2012, 2015, I delved into farming and it was to a large extent successful.
Okay.
I only had just one mishap and that was all. And I just said, I'm not doing it anymore. It was really painful. because
Must have
from my
lost
plan, then I
money.
thought, yeah, I lost money, but I now lost confidence also.
Oh.
I had a lot of trust in people, and that's also one of my problems. I trust people a lot. If you come and say, yeah, this is what you are, this is who you are, there's no reason why I would doubt you until you obviously make me doubt you.
Yes.
Yeah, so I trusted people a lot. I gave people a lot of money. I didn't want to leave my job to go and focus on these things. I'm not like, you have the big, growing up, start up a business. One of the things I admire about you, starting up Palladium, running it. I didn't have that confidence. I didn't have that conviction. I didn't have that strength or stamina
To go fully into,
I was always scared about it. And I think looking back, sometimes I regret that I should have. There's so many opportunities. I think, yeah, that's probably one of the things I would say I didn't do.
So outside of work, let's talk about personal life. What's the biggest setback that you've ever had? Setback, both career and personal life, that you would say was the tipping point, or even if it didn't tip, because tipping point means you made the best out of it. At times you don't make best out of some things and you just recover from it. What would you say it is?
I think one was not necessarily, I wouldn't call it was something that happened to me, so it wasn't as if it was something I did on my own. So that would be the second. Let me go to the first one. So the first one was actually not being sure of who I am or who I wanted to be. I wouldn't say I was influenced by my peers, but my peers had a lot of influence on my life. So I knew what I wanted, or I had options of things I wanted. So I basically followed what most of my peers were doing.
At the time.
At the time, yes.
So I didn't have, so going to university, for example, and I tell the story most of the time, people laugh at me. I got into the university, and I didn't have this, I had four other siblings who had been to university, who were in university, by the way. Only one had graduated a lawyer, but we didn't have a conversation. So I didn't understand what was required in university, GPA, everything. And I'm honestly, people see me at the very serious place. I wear glasses every time, but I'm always aloof, and people don't understand. I usually don't stress myself. Anything I don't know, I don't
stress about it.
I don't stress about it. So I went into university, everybody was having fun, we're partying, and I schooled in a way. And if you know a way very well, yeah. So I got distracted. I got distracted. My first year.
Putting it lightly.
Yeah, I got distracted.
It's summary. you can unsummarize it.
In my first year, in fact, I think my GPA was what, like 2. Even then, I didn't know what GPA was. I didn't even.
You're just going to school because everybody was in school.
2.1, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So what? I know you want to get first class. Oh, first class is really 4.5. Oh, you can't get first class again. 2.1 in first year. Then I'm like, really?
It's 2.1 or the third class or something.
My first year, first semester, I was at 2.1.
Wow. That's a third class.
Yeah, but like I said,
you didn't care. You were following the women and all these days.
I don't know about that part, but yeah.
I'm going to party every night.
Fortunately, I met someone.
It's a terrible place to go to school.
Talking to me and not letting me know, oh, this is how you're doing. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's not about party, because in Lagos, I never left the house. So I read, then I got to school, I stopped reading. So I was just having fun, basically. So I went back, reading and everything. So I think to your question, I didn't really find my purpose. Even when I got married, I was working, I thought I was doing well. I still thought I found my purpose. I think I probably found my purpose not too long ago. And when I said not too long ago, I mean a year or two ago.
Wow.
To be honest, yeah, because if you've known me very well, I just go with the tide. Anything, anywhere, belly face, like they say.
Yes.
But it's not always in a good way. I'm not anybody.
Which is a luck factor.
Yeah. So I just, anything that comes, I just take it. So I face things I don't, I do it. But I'm not doing it because I deep down, I wanted to go and do it, but it's just there.
It's like following the trend.
My friend, I just says, let's go here, let's go there. I realize that there's things in life beyond that, and then I'll bring religions to it, obviously.
So how did you find your purpose? That's a very
like
after so many years.
Yeah. So
but I don't want you to forget the second thing, because you were to get that.
Two things. True.
Yes, that happened to me also, which also led part of it also led me to find my purpose.
Okay.
I lost someone I have lost people in life. So I lost my dad at a very early age. I lost my dad when I was like 14, 15, and this is about 36 35 years ago, long time ago. So I grew up not having a father figure. Of course, that's not an excuse. I remember when people talk about, oh, not being with your father. There's one interview I was doing, and someone was asking me, oh, is it because you've not had a father figure? I said, I may not have had a father figure. My mom was more than a father. She did everything. So, and that also now led to this competition I had. So I lost my wife, my first wife, during COVID. She was trying to give birth and she died. And that thing
must have been so difficult to navigate.
changed me. It changed me a lot because
Meanwhile, his late wife was an exceptional human.
I was a very angry person. People didn't. I was
trauma.
very angry. Angry at God, by the way. People know, yeah. And that was actually what led me to find my purpose. I was really angry. I was like, why me? I've never done anything wrong to you before. I've never cursed you. I've never killed anybody. Why would you take this one thing that's good in my life? But I realized that there are things happening in this world, and I realized that it's not just that things bigger than me. So this life is not. I'm here is not just about me. It's not.
There are
I'm
things
not
you
here on this
cannot
podcast
control.
because Ayo is my friend. There are things bigger than this, bigger than everything. And so the opportunities. You take the opportunities. You make the best of it. You touch people's lives. You change people's lives, and you change people's lives by not even knowing that you're changing people's lives.
Yeah.
A lot of people I've seen, random people I don't even know. They've touched me. I've heard prayers. I've heard sermons. I've heard people speaking at events, and those things, those points, those little things that you take that sometimes people overlook are what transforms people. So that also now led me to me finding my purpose, because after going through that phase of being a very bitter and angry person, and I now met someone who was also, and he was like, and so what? You're not the only person. People have lost more than you. You just lost a human being. People lose their entire family. People lose everything they've worked for.
Yes.
And yet they move on. And I saw instances of people that have lost and created even bigger things that they lost. And that was actually how I realized that.
I mean, like the story of Job. Sorry
Exactly.
for bringing
In
your book.
fact, that's actually what I was going to
Story
say.
of who?
Job in the Bible.
No, that's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point. Everybody knows the story of Job. Come on.
Oh yeah, what's the story of Job?
Job lost everything and God still recovered it, so something like that.
Yeah, so basically, I found my purpose
Yes.
in life, and I realized that everything I do is not about. So I used to think about, oh, how much I had in my account, how much was I earning, for example, what car am I driving? Even though I know I love cars, but yeah, those kind of things.
Because I wanted to say, don't let's bring that into this conversation.
But yes, that's
No, but I mean, you can talk about cars. You know, it's
But she does
exciting.
cars, right?
I know.
What would you say about conversations that has taken center stage now about giving up, mental health, giving up easily? Because I've known you for a while, and I know that losing your wife was a major tragedy, and I also know that you've gone through series and series and series of tipping points, even career-wise, right? What is the biggest hack to not letting that mental health make you react in a way that then turns everything negative?
Yeah. I think the simple answer for me, again, this is from my own experience.
Yeah.
Because failures just ruin some people.
Yeah. But I was very lucky. I had, my siblings were the most amazing people of this world. My mom had to fly back to Nigeria to come and stay with the kids. My sisters were there taking everything. Everybody was helping me. And they could see when I was not, because they know me very well. And they know when I was becoming something else. So they were just trying to help me. So I had a lot of support. Support, and I'm not talking about financial support or anything.
Yes.
Talking about just
Emotional
being
support.
there, just being there to let me
Emotional
know
and
that
social support.
Yes.
no matter how hard this thing is, no matter how tough this might be for you and for us, we will get through it. And a lot of people, I noticed a lot of people don't have that. People go
rare.
through things and they're going through it alone. They don't have anybody to talk to. They don't have anybody to cry to.
But there's also the flip side of having support from the wrong people.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
True.
that's even worse.
Yeah, of course.
That's true.
Of course. Because then you're desperate to do anything.
Yeah.
Because having support from the wrong people could now make you do things you really don't want to do.
Exactly.
Should
They
Yes.
advise you the
Because
wrong
people,
way.
Yes.
exactly, people advise you wrongly, and that's another thing. So luckily for me, I
You had good support.
had very wonderful support, and they helped me in anywhere. I wasn't lacking anything, and it was so bad. There's a period in my life I didn't think I spent a dime. apart from obviously charging my
Wow.
phone or charging my data, and everything was being done
That's
for
some
me.
support.
A lot of things were happening to me.
Yes.
People, even my job. Then I was working in one place in Ikeja. Then I didn't go to work for months, and they were still paying me. so that's one.
No,
So,
Obinna is a very
so
good
it
person.
was
Yes,
just,
I
so
think
it's-
yes.
It's
Trust me when I say Obinna,
He's
I
a
He's a
say
good person.
I know a lot of people. And I tell Obinna's wife that it's only you that you can report Obinna to me and I will support you because she's the only one I know that is better than Obinna. And it's not because Obinna is there. When we were working together, everybody had issues with some types of people. Like everybody, there was a consensus that these people are problematic.
Yes. Only
Obinna did
Obinna.
not have issues with those people. I'm not joking. Obinna is the most, even for this podcast, do you know how many times we've either wasted Obinna's time, he's come and gone.
I agree,
Other
honestly.
people would have been angry. You know, I'm always on the edge that no, I don't want to do this. Obinna never has issues.
Obinna is very patient, at least from the little
and
time
that's
I've
the
known
lesson
him.
for us because as young people, it's extremely important that you are conscious of how you reflect on others.
I
Because
agree.
at times it also determines the support you get.
From them.
I'm telling you, because I know it, I can know that company, it may not necessarily be because they are the best company in the world.
But because of what he has shown over the years.
Exactly. Is the input at times that determines the
output.
But most times we're expecting
Output without putting in anything.
But just to add to that, but there's also So I don't say you're right or you're wrong, but I just want to add up to what you're saying.
That there could be a flip side.
No, not the flip side. Actually, almost
Okay.
running in parallel to what you
Okay.
were saying. Because I remember just what you were saying earlier. I remember people to say, "Oh, Obinna is a very good manager. Obinna is a very good manager," and all that. But the truth still remains that when I was his manager, because I'm manager, I wasn't shining because it was me. I had the
Yes,
like I
an
said to
amazing
anybody,
team.
I've never had any team like when I was managing them. It was my first time being a manager. It was the
Yeah.
easiest job being a manager, but to be honest, I didn't do anything. I can say it
Amazing
now
set of
because
people.
nobody's going to do my praise again. They made my job so easy.
Easy.
People clapped for me. People were praising me but I wasn't. To be honest, I wasn't doing anything.
I think you're just being
They were the
humble.
ones, and I'm not joking.
Oh, man,
It was him.
I
it
think
was
he's just being
Guride, it
humble.
was Tutu,
Obinna is
it was-
going to kill me on this podcast.
Yeah,
And if you
these
see their
were
profile today,
these
they are
guys-
amazing people.
Amazing.
Exactly, I was about to say that now, and that is why they are all at the top.
That's up, yeah.
They made me look good. People keep saying, "Oh, you're fine. I heard so much about you." My mind, what did I do?
Obinna is just being humble.
I know, I just been humble. But then again, I mean, it's really fantastic. And it goes to show that good character.
Yeah.
People should develop.
People like you that have bad character, go and change
People
your
like you,
character.
you're going to change.
Next time I now left this managerial position, I went into another company to be a manager. I struggled
Oh,
because I went from having the best team
to
to, of course, I'm not saying
What's
those
your
guys
best
were
football
good.
team? But
Those guys were good,
but
but I didn't really know how to manage them. I was used to leaving people do their thing. Now this one want me to
Because
come and
we're
sit
working
down.
with
so now
and
you have to
tell them what do.
micromanage.
Yes,
have
and
that
you were
time.
like, what?
What
What is this?
You're paid. Go and do your job. And that's what these guys were doing.
That you did, yes, true.
Yeah. So
Thank you so much, Obinna, for joining us.
Thank you.
Please, guys, again, we'll be back with another very interesting guest. Every time, don't forget to follow us on Spotify, on Apple, on Instagram, on
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, we'll be back again. See you later. Bye bye.